Oh, I think just the overall magnitude of the event. I mean, I thought I knew what it was going to be like, emotionally and physically. I had no idea. I had no idea what it would be like to participate in a 400,000 spectator event in a race at that level, emotionally and physically. So I think therein lies the biggest surprise for me. Oh yeah, you could feel their energy, you could hear them, and yeah. There's one section out there that was one great big barbecue, and you know, you're coming through the Porsche curves and you're feeling and smelling bratwurst and steak and ribs and chicken, and everybody, you know, starting to lick your chops a bit. But yeah, you knew they were there, that's for sure. I think my favorite on-track moment was the first time that I seemed to get a pretty good run off Tetra Rouge, the right-hand run in the Mulsanne, and hooked up with a couple other GT2 cars, and we were going down the Mulsanne in the dark together, and I thought, man, I'm a race car driver now. It was very special. It wasn't quite dark, and there was just a little bit of sun there, and just running very fast down the long straightaway in the country roads of Europe, and I said, boy, we're racing now. You know, there was one very, very difficult moment with the change from in this case night to day, and that was early in the morning on Sunday, up over the Dunlap Ridge into the rising sun. It was what seemed to be 5 hours of stark terror, where you could see absolutely nothing because of the sun coming through the windshield. It was probably more like around 10 to 15 seconds of pure blindness, and it was absolutely terrifying. We're used to that. Coming off turn 4 at Daytona at about 7 p.m. at night, it's always, you're driving right into the sunset, and it's blinding for maybe 10 seconds. This was a very long period of time. So I found that to be very, very challenging. You're headed into a series of turns in traffic, looking for flagging, and you can see nothing. You know, you could. Certainly, you know, the straights, the Mulsanne, then from Mulsanne on up to Indianapolis, Arnage, that area there, you know, you had plenty of time to judge their closing rate and prepare yourself and position yourself for them. Your worst nightmare was entering the Porsche curves, and they're coming, and they're all over you through the Porsche curves, and they can go around you anywhere, anytime, any place they want, and they will. And so it was very challenging. You could kind of get in a rhythm everywhere except the Porsche curves. It was, you know, for a team that was thrown together in 90 days, you know, the bonding happened very good, very rapidly. The chemistry was very, very good. Patrick is very serious about his racing. In my 30 years of motor racing, have had a chance to work with a number of celebrity drivers. A lot of them are not serious about the craft of driving a racing car. Patrick Dempsey is very serious about the craft of driving a racing car. And it was a pleasure to see that and participate in that with him. So, no, it was a good marriage. Joe's a pro. I mean, he's been at it a long time, knows how the game's played, and Patrick was an absolute pleasure, and obviously he brought a tremendous amount to the program. That was intriguing. I'd never been in that environment before. I don't get mobbed, and you know, it was concerning because there were times when Sienna was with me, and I was concerned about her getting caught up in that, and, you know, and intimidated by it. But it was my day to be a rock star for one day. I mean, it was quite an experience. And this word gets overused. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. And I think that's probably the best time that word has ever been used. Absolutely awesome. there were some very personal times for me. Certainly the driver's parade with Sienna in her matching driver's suit with me, sitting on my lap in the parade car, and then getting out of the car and walking with me up the row of people and signing autographs. I looked down and here's my 7-year-old signing autographs. She finally said to me, Dad, you just put your initials. We don't have time to put our whole signature in. That was magical for me. And then again in the parade when we finally found Donna, and she yelled to us and we were able to wave to her. That was a magical moment. There was a press conference that you were in, and Donna and Sienna walked in, and it was so good to see them walk in and sit down. Obviously, a lot of this was about Donna and Sienna and I, and we had some magical moments. We're going through an adjustment. We're going through an adjustment. Donna continues to ask me, are you all right with this? And I continue to say, yes, I am, and I am. But you're talking about a 2-year project. You're talking about a project that for 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, for 2 years was never off our mind. That's what it took to get this car in the field. And now we're not feeling that pressure. Obviously there's some mopping up to do and some final administrative issues, but we're finding peace in our accomplishment, and enjoying and savoring that. But it's a big adjustment. I find myself going, now what do I do with all this mental and physical energy? And I know where I'm going with it, and we obviously have family plans, but it's a big adjustment, yeah. What's next? Right now, we just as a group need to recover. We need to kind of get our lives back. It's been, like I said, 2 years. The last 6 months have been absolutely horrendous. I'm quite anxious to get life at home back to, routine again, and kind of recover physically, and then make a plan. There's talk and thoughts of going back to Le Mans, but that has even new challenges to it. Obviously the hospital is a concern. We need to continue to do what we do for that hospital, and racing is all we know how to do. So I think the coming weeks will tell what our plan is, but I can tell you the wheels are turning. We're getting there. Whatever that was, I don't ever want to have it again. It needs to go away. But we're on our, I think, 3rd different antibiotic. Obviously, I was sicker than I had appreciation for, and we're getting there. Thank you. You were with us all night long. We felt like the entire city, all of our supporters and followers rode with us. You might not have liked being in the car, but trust me, you were in the car with us, and we felt your support and your energy, needed it, and thank you.